Welcome to Packet Chasers. Thank you for joining. Today, we're going to be covering how to configure a Cisco 2821 router into a terminal access server. This is a Cisco 1841 series router. The Cisco 1841, it has one WIC slot, two fast Ethernet slots, and a console port. Like that console port, typically what we're going to use to connect this console cable into the Cisco router in order to configure it. Now this Cisco console cable, typically it has a serial end and it has like a RJ45 end. So the serial side is going to connect to your laptop or your desktop, and the RJ45 side is going to connect to the Cisco console port. Yeah, that Cisco console port, which is light blue. The steps in which we're going to take to get this done. The first thing we're going to have to do is add the HWIC 16A into the WIC port of the router. Now this is a HWIC 16A. It's going to go into this port, into the router. This is a Cisco ISR router. It's an integrated service router. And the way you can tell is because it has these slots for WIC interfaces. The first step we're going to be doing is adding this HWIC 16A. I'm going to be putting this into a 2821 router, by the by. The next thing we're going to do is, configure a host name. The third step is we're going to have to configure a loopback interface, right? Step 4, configure a line interface. Step 5, we're going to define the virtual host that the channels connect to. This HWIC card is going to require an octo cable. They connect to this HWIC 16A, and it allows us to connect 16 console terminal sessions to this 2821 router. By accessing this 2821 router, we're going to be able to initiate up to 16 console sessions. Now, the way that this happens is on the other end of that console port, we have this patch panel, right? And it's a back-to-back patch panel. So what happens here is on the back of this patch panel, the octo cables break out into RJ45. So this particular type of patch panel is going to allow us to connect this type of console connection or RJ45 cable from this port to the console cable of our switches and routers. Now, typically myself, I like to number my octals. I don't know if you can see it. P0, P1, P2, P3, P4, P5, P6, P7. That's one card. P0, P blah blah, etc. That's on the second card. Number 6, we're going to verify the config. Number 7, we're going to save. Why? Jesus saves. So to go over the steps again real quick, how to configure a Cisco 2821 access server into an access terminal server. Here's the steps. We're going to add a HWIC card. Step 2 is configure a host name. Step 3, we're going to have to configure a loopback interface. Step 4, configure line interfaces. Step 5, define the virtual host. Step 6, verify the config. Step 7 is save. And then I'm going to hit test. I'm going to make step 8 test. Now, as I was saying, one of the reasons or the reason for creating an access server is so that you can now connect to one device So typically the way we're gonna set ours up is R3 is our core router. We're gonna put the HWIC here. And we also have additional routers, R2, and then we have our router R1. R2 is considered to be our access router, and then R1 is considered to be our edge router. This is how our lab is set up. This is typical Cisco architecture, which is like core, access, edge. We also have a series of switches that we connect to. S1, S2, S3, right? S4. We got like P0, P1, P2, P3, P4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, P5, P6, P7, right? This is that cross connect device. So what I'm saying is this. P0, I'm going to hook to R3's, the Cisco 2821's console port. P1 is going to hook to router 2's. P2 is going to hook to router 1's console cable. P3 is going to hook to switch 1 console cable, and so on and so forth. This is how we're going to name the devices when we go in and configure the access server. Stay tuned. I'm going to jump into the putty session, and we're going to go ahead and configure this access terminal server live on live devices. So stay tuned.